community is mourning the death of 31-year-old Jonathan Price, who was killed by police at a gas station in Wolfe City, Texas over the weekend. According to witnesses, Price was trying to intervene in a domestic dispute in which a man and woman were arguing. Witnesses say the man assaulted Price. Officers then arrived. They tased Price, then fatally shot him. At this time, police have not released any official details related to the shooting, but what is known is that the officer involved has been placed on administrative leave and an investigation into the shooting is underway. What's heartbreaking is just months before Price was killed by police, he made a post supporting law enforcement, stating his positive experiences with cops outweigh any issues surrounding race and color right now.
Shalom, we are Israel United in Christ, IUIC Dallas, cuts from the street. We're here in Wolfe City. My name is Officer Asa to my left.
Officer Shema.
To my right.
Officer Yakub.
Far right.
Officer Zephaniah.
So we came out here to Wolfe City because the shooting of Jonathan Price. Behind us is the memorial where we're at. So we came out to the city to see what the vibe is of our people and what do they think of what happened to Brother Jonathan Price.
Yeah, officer. In this small town like this, we probably gonna see a whole lot of white and black unity because, for the most part, small towns like this has one high school, one big store, so they all just together. So we probably gonna see a whole lot of that, and there's no races in this town, and they hate outsiders, that type of thing. We're probably gonna hear some of that.
Yeah. Officer.
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing what it is people are gonna say. If the people are gonna be interested in talking, you know, if they do talk, what they're gonna say to us.
Right, because, you know, they see the camera, the film crew shirts, they probably going to be like, hey, you know, y'all going to put us on the news, y'all going to front us out. But, you know, we just trying to renew our people's mind back to God. Let them know that they true heritage in the Bible, that they the children of God, and this oppression that we suffer in America, we are greater people than that.
That's right.
That's right. So with that, stay tuned. IUIC Dallas, cuts from the street, Wolfe City.
Shalom, shalom. This is Officer Shema, cuts from the street. I'm here with
Jeffrey Lewis.
Jeffrey Lewis. We're here in Wolfe City, and we're here to talk about the recent events that happened here in Wolfe City. Are you familiar with what happened here in this town?
Faintly, yes.
Well, give me your, from an outside looking in, what's the word on the streets here in Wolfe City about what happened to our dear brother, Jonathan Price?
An innocent man taken down by improper acts.
All right, shalom, we're Israel United in Christ, cuts from the street, IUIC Dallas. So my name is Officer Asa. Who we got here? We're here with?
Gerald Woodbury.
Gerald Woodbury. So we out here to Wolfe City because of the unfortunate events that happened to our dear brother Jonathan Price, right? Yeah. So what do you think about that situation?
Heartbreaking. All the way around heartbreaking.
And you are his
cousin. Yes.
All right. So with these events happening, do you think that the black man is plagued in America for these things? Because there's a lot of shootings happening, right? And who is it happening to?
Wow. It's happening to a lot of black people.
What do you think that's causing this?
Fear.
Fear from who? Or what?
Fear of a lack of an understanding. You know, what I understand, what I know is that an understanding, it says one or two things. It says things go very wrong from a lack of an understanding.
So the understanding because from our point of view, us being blacks, we understand that the police officers, they are the authority, and we respect the authority, so we respect them. So the understanding is not coming from us. We understand that they are the authority. So where's the understanding or the lack of understanding coming from?
From the prosecutor.
From the prosecutor.
That's correct.
So in this case, the prosecutor being who?
The police officers.
Understand.
We're here in Wolfe City. This is Cuts from the Streets, and we want to talk to the people in Wolfe City, kind of get a feel for what happened here in Wolfe City with Jonathan Price. It's the latest, one of the latest shootings in America. And so we wanted to come here to the city to ask the people in Wolfe City their thoughts on it. So who do we have with us?
Jace Cagle.
Jace
Cagle.
Jace Cagle. So Jace, let me ask, what is Wolfe City like?
Wolfe City is it's one of the ideal small towns. It's, everybody knows everybody. Everybody's friends with somebody. It's just one of them small, quiet towns. Nothing really goes on. Everybody goes on about their own business, does their own thing, and then at the end, everybody goes home to their families and stuff like that. So.
Okay. So the reason that we're here, of course, again, is to talk about the situation that happened with Jonathan Price. What do you think about the situation that happened with Jonathan Price? What are your thoughts on that?
I feel like it was exaggerated a lot.
Okay.
That there's a lot of around it because of the fact that Jonathan was African American, and it was a white cop that did the shooting. I honestly think it's just, I don't know. I don't know how to. It's just a lot to take in. That's just a bad thing happened. It was just Jonathan was in the wrong place at the wrong time, doing the right thing, but it's just bad.
So in this community, you said it's a tight-knit community?
It really is, yes. White, black, Hispanic, yes. We are united. We are strong here in Wolfe City.
Okay, so then in this city, where do most of the black people live compared to the white people?
This area, and then the west part of town.
So is it, if you're saying most part of black people live on one side and the white people live on the other side, is that
No.
everybody's condemned?
Yeah, it's like we're a mixture of everywhere. We got white, black, Hispanic over here. White, black, and Hispanic on the east side of town. We're just not just a section of black people over here and whites over here. No, it's not like that.
Yeah, and that's one of those things that we've kind of heard today is that Jonathan, was a pretty good guy. Everybody around here kind of knew him, but there's been some questions about the couple that nobody seems to know.
Well, what's crazy is me and a couple of my friends, we were up here getting gas, and my best friend's dad was up here, and so I stopped to talk to him as I wanted to pay for my gas, and I said, "What's up?" Well, whenever I walked back out to put my gas, Jonathan pulled up with.
You don't have to say anything.
Oh yeah, well he pulled up with a couple of friends from that he had just came from a party.
Yeah.
And the couple at the time, I didn't have no idea what was going on. I just saw that Jonathan, he was in a good mood. He was laughing, giggling, doing his thing.
Mm-hmm.
This couple pulled up, and we left at the time because everything started getting loud. So we noticed, we was started had a bad feeling in our guts. It's like, we need to get out of here. So we left, and we get in Commerce, or we're heading to Commerce, and the same couple that pulled up zips by us over on 11 heading out towards Fairleigh.
Mm.
So we're over here listening to music, and I turned it down. I was like, dude, that was the car that was just up at the quick check. Well, then we get to the party in Commerce, and we get a call that there's been a shooting up at the quick check.
Okay. And you said now, so here, as far as Jonathan goes, he was known. He was a decent person in the town, and like you said, there's a lot around it with him being black, and we know that in America right now, there's been not that it hasn't always been happening, but it certainly now has been more focused on, right?
Yes, sir.
In attempts to try to change it, in attempts to try to lessen it. What do you think would help lessen some of the shootings that are happening, that seems to be happening, of course, black men at the hands of white officers? What are your thoughts?
The same thing that the last guy said, is just evaluating the police and making sure that they're getting taught what they need to taught, and just making sure that they're okay mentally, and that in a situation like that, you got a group of people and everybody's drunk and stuff like that. You can't. That's a situation where you want to de-escalate everything. You want to put the fire out and not add to it.
Right.
But that as far as situations like that goes, I mean, it's all on the police force and stuff like that, and how they're taught and what they're taught to do in situations like that. So I mean, until stuff and that changes, then I mean, I don't think there's really going to be any change.
Okay, so with the officer, they were saying that there was complaints about the officer. Was that true?
Plenty. Yes, sir.
Was those complaints sent up to the police department?
Yes.
And they did nothing about it?
Not at this point, no. Not at that point, no. I mean, he was like, well, I want to say that word, but I'm not. I'm on camera.
What word?
He was an asshole, to be honest with you.
Be real, baby. We're here to be 100.
Yes, he was an asshole. He used that badge for, what am I trying to say?
For his personal gain?
Yeah, you can say that.
I mean, I don't want to put words in your mouth.
You can say that. I mean, he would stop people for just the ridiculous things, harassing people. Even if you're walking, he would harass people.
So who would he harass? What did those people look like? Was it?
Oh, white, black, it doesn't matter.
He would harass.
Badge on, and it took him. Yeah, he used that badge.
Crew, I'm here with
Nick.
And who?
Chase.
So we're just trying to get a temperature of Wolfe City. Tell me something about Wolfe City, fellas.
I mean, it's just a great small country town. Everybody knows each other. There's no black and white here.
So with the event that took place, what's the temperature of the town now?
Just trying to heal. Everybody. It affects everybody. Nobody's divided. Everybody's come together as one big happy family.
So, all right. So then that leads to the next question. Then, do you think justice will be served? Say, in this situation with that happening, there always seems to kind of be a justification for it happening, right? Do you think justice will be served in this situation?
I do think that if you ask me, I think he should be locked up. He should be. He killed somebody. It's murder. Whether it was you, whether it was me, whether it was the little white kid down the street. It's just. I do think justice will be served.
Now, what role do you think voting plays in this? Because you said you're 18 now, right? Yeah. So you're at the point now of where you could vote, right? But in 18 years from what you may know, because I know it's not a lot, right? Do you think voting can help any of this? Do you think voting is the answer for what's going on?
Personally, I don't, because it's all about, we can vote and we can, it goes as far as you vote for the person who you want, you think is going to change, is going to, put some change in everything that's going on and put their perspective on everything. But, then again, it comes to whoever gets the power or whatever, it's all what they do. Right. So me putting in my little old vote is not going to change somebody's mind. Right. So, it's how they think and how they think problems should be solved and stuff. So, as far as voting goes, I don't think it'll do anything.
Okay.
So if he harassed everybody, most of the people...
not even people from Wolfe City, just passing through Wolfe City. You know what I mean? You can be passing through, because we would sit out here a lot, and we would see him right here at this intersection, just pulling people over, just constantly pulling people over.
So if he pulled over whites, he pulled over blacks, so why he didn't shoot a white man?
I can't answer that question for you right there.
Is voting going to help solve some of these problems? What's your honest opinion on that?
I don't think voting is going to solve the problem.
So what is the answer, if you don't mind me asking?
Knowledge is the answer.
You said something. Knowledge is the answer.
Knowledge is the answer.
Hey, this is Officer Shamar, cuts from the streets, and with that, I say shalom.
So I'm going to show you something in the Bible. Give me the book of Deuteronomy. Give me 17 and 15. I'm going to show you voting in the Bible. And in the Bible, God has a people that he has chosen that he calls his children, correct? And the children of God were commanded to keep the commandments of God, to have faith in him, have faith in Jesus Christ, and keep the commandments of God, right? Watch this.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 17 and verse 15. thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord thy God shall choose.
So the first thing that the Bible says is that whoever is going to be the ruler over the people don't necessarily select him, but God is going to show through his spirit who he elects to be the person in charge over the people, right? Read.
One from among thy brethren.
So the Bible says one from among thy brethren. Now remember, yes, one from among us, right? Read.
Shalt thou set king over thee. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother.
Yes, sir.
Do you see that?
Yes, sir.
So what you said about voting is actually correct. It's biblical, because God said that we're only supposed to set over us people from among us, from among our brethren. Why? Because then we have the same mind. We have the same fear from God. Everybody's on the same chapter. Yes, sir.
So do you believe in the justice system?
I have my opinions, yes.
So what's your opinion? Be honest, because as we seeing, 100% of the time, 99.9% of the time, those police that shoot us are getting off. They might serve maybe 6 months in Club Med, right? Some vacation spot, but they're not really serving time as they should.
Right. Well, for him, I hope he gets what he deserves. You know, he took a life.
Do you think that he will get what he deserves?
Yes, I do.
You do. You say you what?
I'm praying on it.
You praying on it.
The justice will be served for Jonathan Price.
So do you know, according to the Bible, why this is happening to us?
No.
Because you know in the Bible it states that our oppressors will slay us and hold themselves not guilty. Did you know that?
Okay.
Did you know that? Let me get that. Where you at, officer? So we're going to read some scriptures, right? Go ahead.
The book of Zechariah, chapter 11 and verse 5. Whose possessors slay them.
So are we in possession? Is the black man in possession in America?
No.
Who runs the country?
Right now, President Trump running the country.
Right, and then what is your last name?
Woodbury.
Woodbury, and that comes from where? Probably doesn't. Like it comes from the slave master, right? Because we were slaves once here in America, right? I mean, we still are, but we was under a plantation, right?
Correct.
And the plantation owner had a last name, and he gave his slaves his last name.
Correct. Okay.
Okay, so we still are oppressed, and we're oppressed by the so-called white man. It's not just him. We got the Chinese and the Arabs too, right? Read.
Correct.
Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty.
And hold themselves what?
Not guilty.
So it said the oppressors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. So who slayed us? And that was the so-called white man, correct?
Correct.
And they're gonna hold him not guilty. Because what happened to, you heard George Floyd, the cop right there? Right. They got off. What about Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor? We could keep going. I mean, you heard about Emmett Till back in the early, 1900s? Emmett Till, you heard about Emmett Till?
Yeah.
Well, that young boy, the white woman said he whistled at her, and then they beat him and killed him, right? And she never got any, all those people that killed Emmett Till never got any, they never served any time. And even now, she admitted that it was a lie.
Sir, absolutely. So now I'm going to show you one other thing, because when we're looking at the situation and what's happening with our people across the country and across the world, it's because of something that happened years ago. You being young, you know a little bit about slavery?
I do.
Okay. In slavery, one group of people were the slaves, the other were called what?
Slave owners.
Slave owners, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So watch this in Zechariah. Let me show you what Zechariah is going to say, because it's speaking to today's situation. So hold in mind that he said among us, right? Now watch this.
Zechariah chapter 11 and verse 5. Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty.
Say it again.
Not guilty.
So the Bible said that the children of God have a group of people who possess them, that oppress them, and they hold themselves not guilty. Who do you think they're speaking about?
Anybody that's on the opposing side. So for us, obviously us from the small town want us to, obviously, he's guilty. But there's always going to be that other side of the people that say, no, because I've heard a lot of stuff about how Jonathan was in the wrong and stuff like that. But from me knowing what actually went on, you can't say that because I was there. Like I didn't personally witness it, but like I was here 10 minutes before it all happened.
Right.
So, but yeah, it's talking about the other side. It's talking about the people that think that it's just the wrong and the right side.
Right.
It's just opposites going at it.
So, because in the town, the vibe is that everybody gets along.
Yes, sir.
But in your thoughts, Jace, is everybody the same people? It's not that everybody doesn't get along, but is everybody the same people? And when I ask that, I'm asking, do you think that if it was one of us, a so-called black man, and the person that was shot and killed was a so-called white man, if the shoe was on the other foot, do you think things would be different or looked at or handled differently?
So that's the thing. I honestly do think it would. I think there would be a whole different reaction towards the situation from everybody.
Right.
So give me Deuteronomy 28. So these things are happening because we disobey God's commandments, laws, and statutes. Right? Let's see.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So it said, curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Is a curse a good thing or a bad thing?
To me, a curse is a bad thing.
Bad thing. So it said bad things are going to come upon thee and overtake thee if we don't listen to God, right?
Correct.
So as a people, of black people, do you think we're listening to God today?
Mm-hmm. It all depends. I'm learning. I'm learning more every day about the book. Mm-hmm. It just...
But are we listening? Because listening, when you listen to somebody, meaning you're going to do what they say. Right. So are we doing what God told us to do?
No.
So bad things are going to happen to these people, right?
Correct.
All right. Let me get 37.
Verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword amongst all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee.
So another curse that's going to happen is be called a byword, something outside your God-given name by saying, what was it? What was your last name? Woodbury. That's a byword. Or calling you, what's your nationality?
African-American.
African-American. That's two white men. Leo Scibius Africanus and Amerigo Vespucci. So you calling yourself after two white men. So can two white men have a black child? No. So that's another byword, right? Okay. And it said a proverb. If you want to hide something from a Negro, you put it in a book. Because they say we don't like to read. They say we always late. Right? They say we lazy, we shiftless. Yeah. Those are proverbs, right? And it's in an astonishment, an amazement. So when you see black people everywhere you see it, it's like, wow. So that said that will happen to the children of Israel. So, right? So if those things are happening to black people, and they say they happen to children of Israel, who is the black people?
It'd be us.
We're the children of Israel, right?
Watch this. Give me Lamentations.
4:17. Uh-huh. The book of Lamentations, chapter 4 and verse 17. Uh-huh. As for us, right? Our eyes yet failed for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us.
So we're always expecting good to come out of a nation that has always shown us less than good. You understand that? Yes, sir. All right. Hey, I appreciate you talking to me, man. Yes, sir. All right. And we got information for you, all right? All right. Hey, this has been Cuts from the Street. This is Jace. Well, yeah, we did it. Yeah. Cuts from the Streets, Wolfe City. We came out. We wanted to see what the people thought. get their thoughts about the shooting of our brother Jonathan Price. And we came, we saw, but what do y'all think?
Man, what I know is through the interviews and the people we met and talked to today, that only this Bible gonna save our people and get us out from under the thumb of our oppressor and back on top where we need to be.
Right.
Yeah. One of the good things, man, we got a chance to meet his mother, his dad, you know what I mean, some of his kin folks, and it was surprising enough that it wasn't surprising enough to see that they had the same mindset as the rest of the town, that they all grew up here, they don't want no trouble. It's just an unfortunate event that happened, but we know better than that. We know that these things happen because we break the laws of God. And so one of the things that I did enjoy was we got a chance to bring Deuteronomy 28 out to some of these people, and they never heard that before, and now, you know, maybe it'll help.
Right, exactly. So, like the officer said, we're in small town, Wolfe City, and we expected that they gonna have that. It's not black or white. We all one people. You know, it's not about color, and we just need to stick together, and things need to be done right. And that's what the vibe was. And we know, like Officer Zephaniah said, this Bible is what's going to wake our people up. This Bible is going to let them know who the Bible is for. So that's all I got. Y'all got anything else, officers?
So we'll say, look, for those of you, especially those of you living in small towns like this one, we've got a lot of work to do. You can't be afraid to express the truth about what's going on in your city. When we do that, we do not help our community. We do not help raise our nation, which is our reasonable service. So with that, this has been Cuts from the Street, Dallas, IUIC Dallas, Wolfe City. We say, Shalom.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.